Thank you for double-clicking your mouse tonight. You're listening to the Midnight Frightcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Midnight Frightcast, episode number 20.
Hey!
20. Balloons, confetti, strippers. Wait. Hey, that ended nicely. This is your host, Greg the Movie Guy here. We are celebrating episode 20. We've got the entire Midnight Frights crew at the table. Everybody cheer. Yay! To my right, Josh, I didn't use my hands. Is Tom. Tom, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Sitting across from me, and we'll probably get kicked in the nuts at some point this evening, is Patrick.
Hey, everybody.
And to my left, see the left? I'm doing it, Josh.
It's the left. His hands.
Josh is sitting to my left. What's up, Josh?
Congratulations from knowing your left from your right.
We are here, and we've got some cool stuff planned for you on episode number 20. Let me back up. Today is October 29th. Which is kind of a sad day because in 2 days, well, it's a happy day, is Halloween, which is one of my favorite holidays. I think one of all of our favorite holidays. Yeah. The sad part of it is it means the end of the 31-day horror movie challenge will be over. Did I say over already? I feel like I said over already.
You may have.
Whatever. It's going to be over. And it's kind of sucking because this has been one of the better ones. Can I say that because we've only done 2? This is the second one?
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like we all kind of participated better this time around. Tom.
Tom. I'm watching series. I didn't know I could count those.
Why not? That's content. Yeah, so we just kind of want to spend a little bit of time recapping 5+ of our favorite ones that we have watched. Shut up. You know I can't do more than shut up. We're going to spend some time recapping on what we've watched that we've really, really enjoyed and a couple stinkers just because those are really fun. So who would like to Rochambeau first?
Are we going to do round robin?
Yeah, we'll just go around the table.
Round robin?
And
Okay, who would like to?
We start with our 5th and work our way up to our favorite. And then...
Oh, Jesus Christ, I didn't do that.
Well, look at your list, man. And then follow it up with the stinker.
Okay.
So, top to bottom... Or favorite to non-favorite?
Pickle.
Oh, are you starting, Greg?
I can start because I have more than 5, naturally.
Well, you shouldn't have more than 5 because you scratch off those extras.
I'm hosting the podcast, so you will listen to every damn word I have to say.
I can mute your mic is what I can do.
I'm going to kick you in the nuts. I told you it was going to happen.
God.
All right, so I will give you probably the bottom 2, and I'll pitch out 2 every time we come across. So.
Oh my God. Oh, I meant go ahead, Greg.
Rules do not apply to me. I'm better than all of you. So, at the bottom of my list was a movie that actually just came out right before this challenge started. Stephen King's story called Gerald's Game. I wasn't anticipating watching this, but I watched the trailer, read a little bit up on it, and it was a little bit intriguing to me. So, enjoyed that one quite a bit. And there was also one that I just recently watched called Starry Eyes. Has any of you seen?
Yeah, I hated it.
You hated it?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Interesting. I was very surprised because I was going in not anticipating liking it, but watching the transformation that this girl goes through was really, really pretty cool. So that's my 5.1 and 5.2.
All right.
Who's next?
Who's up next? Are we going around the table or are we going across the
I'll
table?
go. It's fine. So the bottom of my list... because I didn't put these in order, but it's right off the top. Rest Stop. I've seen before, but it's super effective. It's really good. It's one location, a really small group of actors, and it's a super effective story. So I watched Rest Stop. There's 2. There's a Rest Stop 2. But yeah, Rest Stop. I would check it out. I would definitely recommend it. It's super simple. Real quick watch. So, yeah. Rest Stop.
All right.
Hit it up.
My number 5 was actually our homework this evening. I really did enjoy The Babysitter. And since we're going to talk about it later, I'm going to go ahead and pass the microphone over to Tom.
Okay. I had can I do two of them right now? Just to pop them out?
Yes, you can, Tom.
Okay. Because they kind of go together. They both happen to be animal terror. One was called Gray with Liam Neeson. Have you guys ever seen this movie?
Yeah.
I have not.
It's not a gore fest necessarily, but the plane goes down in Alaska and these wolves basically hunt them down.
Is it kind of like a pot boiler more?
Yeah.
It's like tension builder kind of thing, Tom?
Yeah.
There's some gore in it when the wolves do get to them. And then the other one is Dog Soldiers. Have you guys seen this yet?
Mm-mm.
My God, this movie's good. A bunch of Scottish soldiers are on a training mission and they come across this cabin and basically this family's slaughtered and they're trying to help, and it turns out that they were slaughtered by a werewolf and they end up having to fight it. It's really quite good.
Excellent.
Those are my two.
Excellent.
All right. Now going to Greg's 4.1 and 4.2.
Back to me. All right. There was a movie that came out last year that I was interested in checking out. It was called Lights Out. I was intrigued by it because I absolutely love the short film that it is based on. And I was a little nervous going into watching the feature because features can screw things up, especially if they're based on stuff. Mm-hmm. I thought this one was impeccable. Held the original story up really nicely. Even gave a great nod to it at the beginning. Really held the atmosphere and the tension. I thought did really, really good. So I was very pleased by that one. Watched another Stephen King movie, Children of the Corn. I'd never seen that before. Very intriguing. Kind of weird, but I liked it. Yeah. I liked it.
It's definitely dated.
It is very dated.
Point of trivia here. I dated the granddaughter of the person who owned that cornfield. Thank you very much.
So he's like, is he, what degree of Kevin Bacon is he?
That's
then?
like 96.
I don't know, but could we get that cornfield? Do you still have connection?
If I did, I wouldn't be here because my wife would kill me.
Moving on to number 2.
I see production value in that.
Nice.
I did watch Children of the Corn for our 80s challenge, though.
Oh, you did?
And Lights Out, I thought, lived better in the short form.
I agree, but for what they did with it in the feature, it was a lot better than I was anticipating.
No.
High Tension. High Tension would be my number 2. Has anybody seen High Tension?
I don't believe
it's
I
a
have.
foreign film. I definitely check out High Tension. It's super. It's got a little weird. I noticed it the last time I watched it. It's got a little bit of a weird how they tie it all together. But it's a good watch. I'd check out High Tension as well. It's super good. So I'm keeping them short and sweet. Check out High Tension.
Right. Excellent. My number 4 is Carnage Park. And this is kind of like a pulp grindhouse style film. To me, it really had a blend of Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez putting it together as about a bank robbery gone bad. And they take this hostage, but then they take him to this remote desert area, and there's somebody there who stalks them. It's just really tension building, really cool, nice twists in it. If you like blood, if you like grindhouse, check out Carnage Park.
Is that the one based off of a real life tale? Also,
not that I'm aware of.
Oh, that's Snowtown Murders. Never mind.
Yeah.
Different thing.
Yeah, and it takes place in 1978, so it has this like really cool feel to it as well from nostalgia point of view. So, all right, Thomas.
Oh, well, since I didn't watch that many, I'm gonna have to say The Bad Seed. Although I would have put that as my number 5. That was probably least of them. It's a little old. They did do a remake of it with child actor.
Same
Elijah.
title. Same title.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Elijah Wood played the. I don't know. Anyway, I will put that, and I'm doing 2 at a time just because then you don't. And I would say The Babysitter as well.
All right. So we are on
3.
Number 3. So 3.1 for me. Movie that I actually both of these are rediscoveries for me. One was The Descent. Seen this a long time ago. The one where they go down into the cave. And,
Yeah.
I had
It's good.
forgotten completely about this and found it in my own collection, actually, which makes this really sad. But just really, really enjoyed the atmosphere and the tension and what they were able to do with the darkness and everything in that movie. Also, another rediscovery for me was the movie called Teeth.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Disturbingly awkward in every sort of way, but god damn it, it is effective.
I remember one scene in that movie that involves a dog.
Yep. That's towards the very end, and it's just as uncomfortable as...
It's
Oh, wow.
very
That is on my list to watch, but it's
Have you not seen it?
I've not seen
I don't think
it,
I made it all the way
so,
through it.
Really? You didn't like it?
I think I fell asleep.
I mean,
That's not good.
Yeah.
It's probably not for everyone's taste, but I liked it.
I did too.
I would recommend As Above, So Below. If you like The Descent, I think we talked about that.
Yes, you did.
I'd definitely check that out. I think I have that hanging around somewhere. My number 3 would be Hush, which I've talked about on the podcast before.
That's a good
It's
flip.
one of my favorite home invasion films. Love the way they put it all together. We talked about that a little bit before we
Right.
started this, about just the different sets, and it's more like, what we talked about. But definitely one of my favorite home invasion films, Hush.
Okay, my number 3 is a film with one of my favorite hobbits. It's a movie called Pet. It has Dominic Monaghan in it, and it's what you would think. Someone kind of abducts someone, keeps them in a cage, but it's really not what you think, and it is twisted, and the acting is superb in it. If you want to feel uncomfortable, it's a good one to feel uncomfortable with.
Remnants of Tusk.
No, it's different.
Okay.
It's definitely different.
It's literally
but-
someone being kept in a cage and the mind games they play with each other.
yeah, it's super good. It's on Amazon Prime.
Is it Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
So
I totally forgot I watched that.
yeah, no, that's a great movie. So passing the baton, Tom.
Okay, so I've done 4. I'm just gonna pick the series that I'm watching. I have to say, I'm really digging American Horror Story Cult.
Agreed.
There was that one hiccup you and I talked about, that one episode that was kind of,
Yeah, the Andy Warhol mishap.
yeah, that was like, you didn't even need that.
No.
Plus, I'm not a fan of Lena Dunham. Yeah. But I thought it picked up really well last week.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So.
Yeah, for a weirdness factor,
Yeah.
it heightened very well. All right, so
Number 2.
number 2, so 2.1 was a movie that I saw back when I was in high school. I'm ashamed to admit that. The Ring. The Ring.
Yeah.
It was a good movie.
The
Very good.
remake or the original?
The remake.
Okay.
It was a remake. I don't know where I've seen both. Obviously, the original's way fucking creepier.
Yeah.
But
that was just on TV. I just saw
Ringu
it.
or The Ring?
The one with Naomi Watts.
The
Ring.
Ring.
I was like just on like yesterday. I was watching part of it.
Yeah, it was very good. I'm very pleased at how well it held up in the years since it's been released.
Those movies wrapped together really well, because Rings was even pretty good.
Right up there too.
You saw Rings, Patrick? Yeah.
Yep.
Then there's Lord of the Rings. That was pretty.
That was a little more
think-
epic, I think.
Yeah.
Epic horror tale. Can they do that? Another one is a longtime rediscovery. Is Saw. I started watching Saw.
Yeah.
I had seen that since it first came out, and really didn't like it when it first came out, but I gave it another chance, and I was very impressed by it.
It's effective.
It is very effective. They do really well with that story.
Let me go through my notes and let you know what I thought of Saw.
Nuts
If you got
will be
about
kicked.
an hour, let Patrick tear it apart.
I actually just go back and listen to the podcast because it's there.
It's rough. It made me feel really bad.
Yeah. It made Josh feel bad for liking it.
Did you make Josh cry?
No, not quite, but
What was it with Carrie always?
that's the one with
Always.
Carrie Ellis. Yeah.
But I mean, is that was your main objection? Or
No, there was plot
It
holes
was
like
pages.
nobody's.
It was pages.
It was one page
It felt like pages.
I remember
of
his
college
performance-
ruled
his
paper.
performance got panned.
Oh, totally.
But
yeah.
I kind of want to rewatch it.
I
'cause
love
I mean,
Saw.
I did
I
enjoy
love that franchise.
I did enjoy the movie, but there was just plot holes
well,
galore.
there is
but
in horror
and
movies.
yeah,
it's hard to.
You have to ignore those.
Yeah,
you don't have to.
You don't have to know.
All right, Josh. number
Eyes of
2.
My Mother was a new discovery for me, and it's really it's one of 2 on my list that was a new watch for me. and I followed along for that movie for quite a while. It was on Netflix. Happily pulled the trigger. It was, you watched it too, Patrick, right?
Yes.
It was eerie. It was haunting, and I watched it early. I watched it early on in the challenge, so I'm trying to kind of remember back. But yeah, I just remember it being really, really haunting. A lot of the imagery in it, and I don't want to say too much because I felt bad for the girl in that movie a lot, quite a bit. So I don't want to spoil it because I think people should watch As My Mother, and it's shot really well.
Yeah,
all black and white, right?
No.
And,
Is it old?
It's
no 2016 because it was on my list.
It's
nice,
like beautifully shot. So yeah, it's a great watch.
My number 2 is Purge Election Year. Believe it or not, I didn't think that would be at the top of my list, but there was something about it that just kept me captivated the entire time. I think it's the best of the Purge series.
Mm-hmm. I've only seen the original.
It didn't have any A-list actors except for the female senator, who's been in a couple of things. She was in Lost, she was in Gia, she was in a number of things. And I can't say that it was well written, but there was just something about it that kept me captivated for the entire time. So that did hit the top of my list.
Agreed.
And I think it's been proven over and over again that A-list actors in horror movies
doesn't
go well.
work well.
I watched one. This is just a side note. Midnight Meat Train that had Bradley Cooper. I hate you guys so much.
Or Patrick's Saturday Night.
My Saturday
college.
nights in college. The Midnight Beat Train.
Yeah, and I can't remember who the female was in there, but it's just, no, you can't do it. It's got to be somebody that you don't know, especially if
it takes you out. I think for me, the only ones that are successful that way are like the Insidious movies, the Annabelle series, those things like that, where it's got those people playing particular characters. I think that they are very good at acting in those types of movies.
What if the A-list actor is playing the antagonist in that kind of movie?
That wouldn't work for me.
That doesn't work either?
No.
Well,
I take that back.
Ring, I mean, that's nobody watches A-list.
Yeah, but she wasn't A-list at the time, though, was she?
Sure.
She was closer to A-list. I mean, that would probably be the one exception that I would give. Even then, I still wouldn't have used an A-list actor for it because it does take you out. And there's the lady that plays Abby Shudo from NCIS is in there. She makes an appearance, but that was before she was famous. Brian Cox is in that.
Yeah, no, he's a great actor.
He's a phenomenal actor. There's countless other people in there that just, it's A-list people in horror movies. Just no.
It takes you out of it.
It does. It really does.
Yeah. Tom, number 2.
I've already done 5.
Are you out?
Yeah.
He taps out.
Okay.
Number 1.
I will wrap up here with one of, and I'm probably going to get made fun of for this, so bring it on. One of my favorite horror movies is Wrong Turn.
That's not a bad call.
Okay.
I've probably seen it, but I don't remember it.
Eliza Dushku's in it. She's about the only A-lister, if you want to call her that. But
was she at the time, though? I think she was fairly new in Wrong Turn.
She had come out with.
She did a TV show before that.
I don't know if it was a TV show. She was in Clueless, I believe.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't ask me why I know that. No, they go into the mountains and they get abducted by the inbred people. Patrick's not even listening to me. So
no, I'm looking it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll probably recognize it when you see it.
They made 6 of
those. They made a
those.
lot of those. I didn't realize they had so many sequels.
Yeah, they made 6 of them.
What were the names to the sequels?
I don't
Wrong
know.
Turn 1 through 6.
That's terrible.
Wrong Turn 2, Dead End.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dun dun dun. So it's one of my favorite horror movies. I enjoy watching that, and I haven't watched it in a long time. My other number 1 is Dale and Tucker versus Evil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's a great
fucking
movie.
love that movie so much.
Great movie.
That's like comedy horror at its best.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They did really well with that.
Yeah.
So
So that's all I have.
yeah.
Number 1, Josh.
My number 1 is I watched it today actually, and I didn't think this would be it, but I'm going to throw it on there anyway. I've had this movie sitting on my table for a while now. The Belko Experiment. It's fucking fantastic. It is really Office Space meets Battle Royale. It's like it's people put in a situation and being told you can either do this or everyone's going to start dying.
And there's someone from the Office Space in that movie, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure.
Check it. Look it up.
I think he was one of the two guys that came in to fire everybody in the office. I think is in. Anyway, continue.
Yes. I think he plays a guy named Wendell in that movie. I think that's him. That might be him. Anyway, it's a bunch of people working in an office and normal day, and voice comes over the speaker saying, you got 1 hour to kill this many people, or I'm going to start killing them for you. And it's really interesting to watch everybody separate into groups as far as I can pull the trigger and I cannot pull the trigger, and watching them kind of go against each other. So it really is a cool movie, and it takes a little bit to get into the actual action of it, but once it does, the body count goes crazy. Wow. And it's a lot of fun. So
John C. McGinley.
I love John C. McGinley.
Okay.
From
Scrubs.
Yeah,
I love John C. McGinley.
I believe he plays Wendell in that movie.
Wendell is the correct name.
Who is like the craziest character ever in that movie.
I think he's a great actor.
He's done a lot of Oliver Stone movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, Belko Experiment. And I feel like I did the 31 Days of Thriller challenge, by the way, because a lot of mine were not so much horror as they were like psychological kind of.
That was the one issue I had with like Gerald's Game, because it did not feel horror to me except for like maybe 2 or 3 parts.
You can almost say there was a supernatural aspect to it, but it was more in her mind than it was supernatural.
Yeah.
But then there was the guy, but that ended up being. Anyway,
it's a multi-genre movie for sure.
I do recommend that movie too.
Oh yeah, it was very good, very very.
It didn't hit my top list, but I do recommend it. I think it's one of the better produced Stephen King movies.
Yeah.
My number one is one that Josh has already mentioned, The Eyes of My Mother. You mentioned how beautiful it was. The cinematography in it was absolutely stunning. Even in the most gruesome parts of that movie, it was beautiful. And the underscoring of the music and everything else, there's some extremely brutal things going on in this movie, but the music that underscores it takes it in a different way, and you do feel for the antagonist in this movie. It's I have never felt this way about a horror thriller type film than I did in this one, because it was so beautiful. You don't walk away from a movie thinking that was a beautiful movie, but I just saw a horror movie.
She's easily one of the most confused antagonists ever. It's like she doesn't know. It's like she doesn't understand. Like she was brought up on death, but it's like she doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Kind of.
Yeah.
A little
Totally.
Bit? Yeah.
Total. Well, she has such a misrepresentation about what it is.
Yeah.
So I suggest that to everybody at this table to watch that one, and anybody to watch that one.
It's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tom, you already did yours. So we're going to do our one stinker, the one we have at the bottom of the barrel.
One stinker, Greg.
That's all I've got. That's all I've got.
I wrote down 3. Okay. Let's go.
All right, let's roll through them.
All right, I'm going to make this as quick as possible. The movie I watched was called Mockingbird. Quick premise. A couple are given a camera and a set of instructions which they must follow, or else someone will die. The film had the makings of something good, but every time it looked like it was going to build to something good, the chair got kicked out from under it, and it was just I want to read my synopsis here that I wrote. I really hate myself for watching this, but should I really be at fault? This was directed by the same guy who directed The Strangers, so I was pure in my reasonings for giving it a chance, right? Right? This is a 4F movie. Found footage fucking failure. Never once scary, never slightly interesting, and the end makes no sense at all. Bottom of the barrel, consider yourself drugged.
Had you seen this one, Patrick?
I did see this one, and I enjoyed it.
Really?
Tom, had you seen this one?
No.
Yeah,
That disappoints me.
We need to have a conversation after this.
I don't know. It wasn't like I loved it,
Yeah.
but I didn't walk away hating it as much as you did. I did enjoy it. I thought it was a good watch, but it also has clowns in it. A clown.
Right, and that's kind of what I was looking for was something
Yeah.
spooky, but the clown.
Oh, there's
that was,
nothing spooky.
No, not at all.
But
The clown in there was a
I
gigantic.
think what I
stupid
liked is how the
goofball.
stories overlapped.
I give you that one.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty clever.
I give you that one.
Okay, Josh.
Mine's a rewatch, and I'm a glutton for punishment because I hated it when I saw it in the theater, and then I hated it again when I saw it the next time, and then I hated it again and again and again every single time I watched it, and yet I will probably watch it again because I really want to know why I hate this movie, and it's called It Follows. I fucking hate this movie with a
Really?
passion. Every single time I put it in, I know I'm going to hate
That's
it.
why I was
and I'm
surprised to see that you watched it for this challenge
trying so hard to find a reason to like that movie, and I can't.
because
And
it's so popular.
I will watch it again. I guarantee it, and I will fucking hate it that time too. So, It Follows is on the top of my shit list right now, but it's closely followed by a movie called It Comes at Night, which I really wanted to love, and I didn't, and a movie called The Black Coat's Daughter, which I really wanted to love, and I didn't.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like you're gonna hate fuck It Follows for a few more times
Oh, I will.
because you'll be watching it just knowing that you hate it.
See, that's kind of the same thing that I have with the House's October build. It's like I don't want to like this movie, but I keep coming back to it.
Trying to discover something. Yeah.
Exactly. And now I want to see the sequel. Silence.
Oh yeah, they did make a sequel. Yeah.
Yep. My bottom of the barrel was a movie called The Love Witch. Okay, now realize that my challenge was to watch all movies from 2016 that I had not seen, horror movies from 2016 I had not seen. It actually had some good reviews, so I said, all right, let's throw that in there. Elaine, a beautiful young witch, is determined to find a man to love her. She makes spells and potions and then picks up men and seduces them. However, her spells work too well, leaving her with a string of hapless victims. I was attracted to it because it was filmed in like this 1960s style. The director was very specific about how she wanted to film this, and she wanted to make it look like it was made in the 60s. And while that was successful, this was my first true stinker of the month for me. Do not waste your time. Even the nostalgic 60s film style did not provide enough interest to keep me wanting to watch this. The 61% of Rotten Tomato viewers that like this can all toss my salad.
That was on Amazon Prime, right? Love Witch.
Yes, I believe
I've gone by it a few times. Yeah. I just
Fuck
kept going.
me. It sucked so bad.
Tom, is there anything you hate?
I'm going to have to pick one on your list just by the title alone, which is House of Purgatory.
Oh, it's awful. No. I'll talk about that really, really quick. I'll move on. But go ahead, Tom.
No, that's all I got. I didn't see it. It's hard for me to invest in a movie that I know I'm going to hate because it's like I could spend that time doing something.
It has a great premise, though. It had a group of kids. There's a urban legend about a haunted house that for every room you go in, every story you go up, you get money back for that. Have you heard this? Have you heard? So there's supposedly one in Omaha that people talked about for a long. I mean, I heard about it. You pay money, $20 to go in. It's 20 stories. Every story you go up, you get $1 back for every story that you can get through. But as they get higher, they start using like live like bugs, and it just gets like crazy bad in there. And
You have to sign a consent form for this?
I don't know.
Boo-ha-ha.
I don't even know if it exists though, because I never saw it and I never went to it, but people talked about it. So this took place in somewhere in Iowa, where these kids went out to a haunted house that they had heard about but they'd never seen, and you pay to get in, and for every floor you go, you get money back. And they just happened to go on Halloween when it was free, and instead of going up, they go down. And it was just, so the premise is really, really great, full of bad acting, full of bad direction, full of bad just writing. It was just bad execution overall. Great idea, poor execution.
Kind of sounds like that game show that was hosted by the sisters.
Elevator. Very similar.
Yeah. Saska Sisters.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That was horrible. You were talking about that. It reminded me of a movie I saw. It was called The Blackout Experiment, and it's a documentary of the blackout group in California that you hire them and they like basically abduct you and torture you and do all sorts, but you sign the consent form. That's what made me think of it. It's like to have the ultimate horror experience. And like this documentary covers 4 different people who went through it and how they became addicted to it. And it's just really interesting documentary.
There's one in Minnesota I know because I was there with Elizabeth for a convention that we were asking about haunted houses because we were there around Halloween, and they said, this is the haunted house. This is the one that you got to go to this one. But just so you know, you have to sign a consent form, and there are females in there that have left without their clothes because they will rip their clothes off and they will touch them and they will grab them because you can't do anything about it.
Yes,
because you signed the consent
that's
form.
where I draw the line.
Yeah, I wouldn't take it through it.
And that's what they do in the blackout experience.
Oh, not in a million years. They can
That's
abduct you. They can put you in like cellars and like in coffins and just
handcuff
lock you in
you and
there
do all sorts of
and then
stuff,
just leave you for a while.
Yeah.
No fucking way. I would.
Yeah.
No.
Not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
So, Greg, take us to our feature.
Yeah.
Let's go to the feature. Patrick, lead us in to The Babysitter.
Okay. The Babysitter. Cole is madly in love with his babysitter B. She's cool and awesome in all the ways Cole is not. One evening, while B is babysitting, Cole witnesses the unthinkable. Now he must survive a night full of first kisses, first broken hearts, and first encounters with homicidal maniacs. On IMDb, it got 6.4 out of 10 stars. And on Rotten Tomatoes, let's see what it got. 69% on the tomato meter and 62% on the audience score.
First
Be a
off,
higher audience score.
You what?
I thought it would have been a higher audience.
I did
score.
too,
That's
personally.
a low IMDb score, I think, too. 6.4 is low for me.
I could see why critics may not like it, but I mean, it's entertaining as hell.
I agree. First off, this movie does nothing to dispel the hot babysitter stigma because Samara Weaving, holy God.
Since my wife is in the house, I have to mention that this was the most unattractive babysitter I've ever seen in my life.
And since my wife sometimes listens to these, the guy that had his shirt off the whole time was very good looking. Should we move on now?
And since my
Why don't you
parole
have a
officer
shirt
is
on?
listening, I have to say she is over 18.
Did we determine that she was over 18?
Actually, I don't know.
Were we having a conversation about how old she was? Or how old he was?
I was trying to make a joke about how old she was.
No, I know that. I think there was a conversation between all of us or some of us about how old he or she was.
I thought the joke was about how old is the movie.
Which was my way of saying,
Yeah.
how old is she?
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
I missed it. Who wants to start?
Okay.
Did we
Go
start?
ahead. Yeah, we started, but who wants to?
Let Tom start.
Tom, why don't you start?
What's the actress's name?
The
Samara
actress's
Weaving?
name? Yeah.
What else has she done? She's great.
Nothing,
good
I don't
question.
think.
Stand by. I'm
Not
on
much.
it.
Great in
Samara
it.
Weaving was also in. She's known for
Monster Trucks. Ash versus Evil Dead.
Ooh, well, that's a good show.
I'm out.
Anyway, she's great in it. The boy is great in it.
one that she's going to be in is called Smilf. I have no idea what Smilf. I assume that's stepmothers. I'd like to.
Oh, probably.
Fine by me.
You've done The Babysitter. What are you going to follow it up with? Smilf.
Smilf.
I thought she was fantastic.
She was amazing.
The character development in this, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump into this, was probably the best part of this movie.
From her or the
Just the two of them together.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
their connection was like they built it very early on, and they maintained it the entire time.
Can we say anything about
It's so new. I think giving spoilers would be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be difficult not to give this.
Well,
spoiler.
I will say
Yeah.
this throughout the movie, especially at the end, they still have this like love connection, which
Oh, yeah.
I thought was phenomenal choice.
Yeah.
And she is so sweet to him in the first 20 minutes or so that, oh man, it's great.
That you have to like her,
Oh,
kind
you
of.
just- How can
Yeah.
you not like
Yeah.
her?
Exactly.
The other three people in the house, you're like, I don't care that she dies, or I don't care.
The one dude with the shirt off was
Oh my
a
gosh.
gigantic dick.
Yes, yeah.
His
But then again, not.
He had some kind of fun moments.
True,
though, where it
very
was
true.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he had
coaching him on
some moments.
not
When
being
he
bullied. and-
coaches him not being bullied. I mean, each person, I would say,
Had a redeeming
except
quality.
for the
cheerleader
cheerleader.
It was like, yeah, please. And the other thing, the only quibble I'd have about this is, in your trailer, should you really be showing
Who directed it? Like
no,
25
well,
times?
not that, but also who's dying in it? Because that's sometimes is the fun part about.
Yeah.
You know they're all
I
going to
didn't.
die, but
I didn't watch the trailer, so I
Yeah, but
gotta
it wasn't
remember
even
that.
so much like who died. It was all the deaths were like really cool.
Creative.
I
I thought there was
yeah.
new deaths in this. I wrote that down as one of my notes. So there's some.
and
yeah.
obviously this is Home Alone inspired.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yep.
It's the only quibble, and this is a small quibble, is before when he runs outside and he goes back into the basement. Do you know what I'm talking about? He has the little locket,
Under the house.
Yeah,
Under
yeah.
the house.
House.
Yeah.
Fat Max or whatever it's called.
Why aren't you just running away at that point?
Oh, because it's
But I know,
Suspend
but-
disbelief.
I know, but I could. What they should have done is introduced his little girlfriend earlier. Then that would have given him a reason to not just run away. I figured there was a way you could have done that.
Oh,
That's a good point.
Because she comes into it right after that. Mm-hmm. And if there was a way she could have went under the house, like he sees her, and I don't know how you would do it, but you could fix that problem. But that bothered me. I was like, just run, dude, run. So anyway,
what I was
loved it.
impressed with this movie is just overall well-made film, very clearly thought out. The shots were cool. There was a lot of unexpected moments. There was things that they did that were just super cool in the cinematography. I still don't know how they do the bit where in the opening sequence where he's talking to his little girlfriend and they're having a normal conversation at normal speed, but everybody's walking slow motion around them. I don't know how they do those shots. If they green screen it or what they do, but there was some things done cinematography wise that I just thought really made this an enjoyable movie when they started overlaying the text on top of things.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
That was
especially
fun.
in
That was
response, like when he finds the rocket
Yeah.
and then they put the text underneath it. It's just like, fuck yeah.
Pocket knife.
There was some. There was just some fun things too, like when he's cutting his ropes.
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
And they're
like,
watching
we
it.
can see
We
you
can
in the
see you
mirror.
in the mirror.
Yeah.
Is it, it's like, are you kidding? You're still
Yeah.
trying to cut your... We could... What? Yeah, no.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, the comedy bits I think were my favorite part of this movie. Really, this was again the example of doing horror comedy really well. The I was going to mention it, but the rope cutting bit was great. A lot of the dialogue, there's a lot of funny dialogue in this as well, and the treehouse. I think the treehouse death was probably
I like
favorite.
the line of the guy saying, statistically, I'm either going to go to jail or I'm going to die, and both are going to happen. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah. One of my favorite lines, I wrote it down, was, I'm still alive, motherfucker, from the girl in the basement
Underneath the house?
underneath the house.
Yeah.
She says it right before the other thing happens.
Okay.
You just barely hear it, you know. I'm still alive, motherfucker. I love that line.
Greg?
I really enjoyed this movie. Like you said, the comedy I think was probably the best part of it, but the kills were...
They were
I
fun.
think
Yeah, they're all creative.
The first one, I was not expecting the way it happened.
You shot me in the boob. Oh, the other
yeah.
one.
That one,
Yeah,
that was probably
that
my
one was
favorite.
good, though.
I'm trying to decide how in depth we want to get here because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But yeah, there was very creative kills. The chick getting shot in the boob was hysterical.
The dialogue that followed that was like
because
great.
that's what
yes.
made it. That's what
Yeah.
made it was the dialogue afterwards. Who's going to
Yeah.
want me now? All this other stuff.
Who's going to suck my nipple?
So just a great film. I'm really glad that we were able to watch this for our podcast here. So
Yeah, I actually watched it with my youngest daughter, and we were just both laughing out loud.
Yeah.
And then there were moments where we're just like, oh, you know, when certain things would happen. So, I thought the sound editing in this was really, really good. There was things I was picking out that I normally wouldn't have, like at the end when he's got the book and the lighter. I don't know if you noticed it. It was a torch sound underneath it. You heard these really heavy flickering sounds and
Really?
stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
There was just little things like that. The music I thought was awesome, and I just thought the sound editing was really, really solid in this.
yeah, there was a lot of really good aspects. Again, I go back to the character development between B and Cole. Like you said I don't want to talk about the end, do I?
It's tough.
Yeah.
Just really great character development, and you care for the characters, and then you don't care for them, and then you do, and there's redeeming qualities, and then there's assholes, and I thought they woved it. It was woven together very well.
I think they tried to set themselves up for a sequel. Do you think that was successful or not?
I don't think they can now.
I hope they don't.
Right?
Yeah, I think a sequel might kill it. Yeah. I hope they don't, but knowing that, they probably will.
I'm trying to.
You may have missed something because it was after part of the credits.
You guys watched it fairly recently. I watched it
after the credits.
a little.
I thought it was.
I thought it was
like after a few credits and then.
Oh,
they
was there a
showed
stinger?
something.
Oh, then I didn't see it either.
Okay, well we can discuss that off air.
Yeah.
Because maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was at the
Is
end
that
of
why
the
you're
movie.
asking about a sequel?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. No. Okay.
Okay. So
to
yeah,
watch
we'll
that.
discuss that. So if you do watch it, make sure that you watch it to the end. Because if I'm correct, if I remember it correctly, there was something after part of the credits started rolling.
Okay. Go ahead, Patrick.
No,
Go ahead.
You.
I was just going to wrap up with numbers, but you got something else.
I got a couple more things
Yeah.
here. With the cinematography, there were things I wanted to point out and kind of get your guys' aspect of it. He showed when he was sitting on the bed, boning up on Mad Men on his computer, and everything fast forwarded really quick. I thought that was such a cool shot because it didn't. I mean, it's just a clever way to do it. There was a first-person camera view where everybody was talking directly to the camera as if it was Cole. And I thought they handled that really well. When they fell down and were talking on the rooster couch, that's what I want to call it. It's a couch, but the patterns were all roosters on it. But it was an overhead shot that just kept spinning that I thought was really cool.
I liked the claustrophobic shots as soon as he sees what's going on.
Yes.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They shot it from like. I don't know how to explain it.
There were awesome transitions between scenes. The clock spinning on its own, the spin the bottle section where the camera was really close on the bottle. Just really good transitions. The kills were great because a lot of them were brand new.
The gajillion movie references.
Yes. Yes. It was very
constant.
Yes.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
I even saw shots from movies that I'm sure he put in there that were specific. The one in the blanket was Sixth Sense. I mean, that was it was completely.
Yeah.
He did a lot of those.
And then there was one more reveal. It was after it was after what happened in the basement, and there was all this smoke outside. Anywho, but there was like the light was like these light rays through the smoke, and then the guy without the shirt just kind of emerged.
I remember
from
that.
it.
Yeah. That was really
and it was just
did
a great
really
shot.
well.
It kind of reminded, I don't want to say Exorcist, but that was kind of that thing where you see someone just standing in that smoke or that fog. I
think they probably did that on purpose.
Yeah.
I saw stuff from Risky Business in there.
when he yeah.
Which
I think it was a very well, and the director got an award for pop culture style music videos.
Okay.
And so I think he was letting that come through here because there were so many pop culture references
there really
in
was.
there. So overall, give it a grade.
Is this out of 4 out of 5
10?
stars?
10.
Oh, out of 10?
Yep.
Me 8. I go 8.
I give it a 9.
I give it a 9 as well. A solid 8. For me, I push it to a 9.
For that genre, horror comedy, I'd give it a 9.
Yeah.
For that genre. Like, I'm not putting that movie against, a different genre.
Schindler's List.
Exactly.
Right.
But for that genre, I thought they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too long. It was
No,
it was about
it was time.
Yeah.
If it would have went any longer, I would have been like,
Yeah. Josh.
What? I'm sorry.
Number?
I said
gave it an 8.
Oh, you did give it an 8.
Yep,
Never
I said
mind.
8.
Duh.
Yeah. Plugs?
Cool. Plugs.
If you're looking for some high-quality movie reviews, step on over to gregthemovieguy.blogspot.com. I've been slacking a little bit because I've been doing this 31-day horror movie challenge, but that'll be over in 2 days, and I hope to get back into some movie reviews. So again, that is gregthemovieguy.blogspot.com.
If you are listening to this before Halloween, it is our intention to have a special Halloween treat for you posted on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
We have Ghost Hunter, which we showed at Prairie Lights Film Festival last weekend. And we are hoping to get that posted on Halloween.
Went over really well.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
Went over really well.
We were very pleased with the way it went over.
Otherwise, check us out at midnightfrightfilms.com. Check us out on Midnight Frights on Facebook, the Midnight Frightcast. We are on the Insta of Grams. And where else are we? Are we anywhere? On Twitter? Do we do Twitter?
We don't do
Twitter.
I don't
do
think we tweet.
we
We had to draw the line somewhere.
We don't tweet
Yeah.
the Twitter.
I thought we had it set up that when we do Facebook posts that it goes to
It
Twitter,
directly
but
to it?
We
I
might,
don't think
but-
that ever.
Fuck Twitter.
So Midnight Frights, Midnight
Nice.
Frightcast, and the Insta of Grams. Tom?
Can I plug personal stuff?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, it depends what personal stuff you want plugged.
Yeah.
Patrick, bend over.
Soda Pop at the Haymarket Theater, November 30th, December 10th. Patrick and I are both in it. Lip sync musical, hilarious.
If you're in the Lincoln area.
1950s lip sync musical. Great music, funny show.
Excellent. All right, that concludes the epic, the milestone, the wonderful episode 20. From all of us here at Midnight Frights, we wish you a bloody evening, a scary tomorrow, and go get yourself some freaking candy.